Howdy, everyone. Let's get to writing for today. It's Thursday, March 11th. So, disclaimer, today's writing lesson is a little bit longer than the others because we're going to be organizing our essay. Now, this shouldn't take you too long in real life, but today is going to be one of our more labor-intensive days. But the nice thing is it's Thursday, which means you also have tomorrow to work on this since we don't assign a new writing lesson on Friday. So, really, this is your Thursday, Friday lesson. So you're just going to be working today on organizing your essay, and I'm going to walk you through the different steps of it. So we're going to be organizing the three different parts of our essay. The three different parts are our introduction, just like in persuasive, our body, which is three separate paragraphs, and our conclusion. So really those three parts translate into 5 paragraphs. We are still doing our 5-paragraph essay. Introduction, body paragraphs, conclusion. So let's talk a little bit about this. Step 1 is the introduction. We're going to start with our hook. Remember, this should be the bulk of our introduction. It should not be one sentence. It should be like 3 sentences. So our hook is going to be either asking a question, telling a short anecdote, which is a really short story, or stating a surprising fact. So, the other thing that we want to think about is what will let me write a few sentences. So, I'm actually going to get out of this presentation right now, and we're just going to go through this sort of piecemeal. So, when I go here, we're not typing anything in the essay part yet. We already have our beautiful bibliography. I'm going to go down to my organizer. So, first up, the genre is informative writing. The audience, well, who is our audience? Well, it says in our prompt, we're writing to students. So we're going to really be spelling it out step by step. So audience is students. Our introduction paragraph, our hook. So think about how you would like to introduce writing about plants. So for me, when I was reading this, I was learning that plants give off oxygen, and I happen to know from science that I like oxygen to be alive. So I think my hook is going to be something about plants make oxygen, which we all need. So they're super important. There we go. I'm not writing out my whole hook. I'm just writing out like the ideas. Hint 2 are reasons. So this is where, we need to think about summarizing the big ideas that I'm going to be discussing. I'm not going to do this just yet because I really want to think about what are my facts going to be. That's where my hints are. So let's talk about that in un momentito. Let's talk about our thesis statement. We talked a little bit about thesis statements last time when we were learning persuasive writing. A thesis statement is the last sentence of our introduction, and it tells our reader exactly what the essay is about. What is our essay about? What plants need to survive. So, for my thesis statement, it's going to be something about what plants need to survive. So, plants need several things to survive. And, I might workshop that in a little bit, but basically, that's what I'm going to be writing. Something like plants are really cool and need lots of things to survive, or plants are complex organisms that need things to survive. Whatever. As long as it's talking about plants need things to survive. And again, we can workshop making it sound really good later. All right. We now need to go on and talk about our main facts. So when I am writing informative essays, there's my face in the corner, I'm going to be picking 3 main facts to write about. These facts need to be big enough to write an entire paragraph about. And then we're going to be choosing a couple details about each fact, which is more info, and we're going to have one quote from our sources for each fact. So let's go back to our organizer because I think it's actually going to make things make more sense. I need to pick 3 big idea facts about what plants need to survive. Now, I learned from the reading that plants need 5 things to survive. And this is a 5th grade essay. We're probably not going to be like, they need light. I'm going to give you lots of details about light. Ugh, I don't think we can write that much. So instead, I'm going to think about this writing idea of big ideas to smaller ideas. So the big idea might be the 5 things that plants need to survive. So that will be my fact 1. 5 things plants need to survive. Then I can think about how do I get more specific. So if I'm talking about the 5 things plants need to survive, that's light, water, air, room to grow, and nutrients. Well, that nutrient part is often misunderstood. That's a really specific idea. I think that's probably going to be my most specific idea. So that's going to be my fact 3. Plants don't need soil, just nutrients. And then I need to think of a second fact. Well, one of the big things that make plants interesting is the fact that they make their own food by using light energy. So I think my fact 2 is going to be plants make food with light. Bada boom. So you do not need to use these 3 main ideas. You can come up with your own 3 main facts. That's totally fine. Just make sure you can write like 5 sentences about it. Don't I am going to tell you right now, you are not going to feel successful if you say plants need light. That's paragraph 1. Plants need nutrients. That's paragraph 2 because you're going to flounder. There's just not enough to write in a 5th grade setting. So try and think of bigger ideas. So now let's come back to this hint 2. So I'm going to hint to what plants need. That's what I'm going to hint to. That's all I'm doing on my introduction. So what I'm going to do now, I'm going to help plan out one of our body paragraphs. I am not going to help you plan out all 3 because, let's spell nutrients right. Because you've done this before. I'm going to show you how to find 2 details. I'm going to show you how to find your evidence. And then you're going to go through and do that for your next 3 body paragraphs. So let's focus on this paragraph 1, 5 things plants need to survive. So I'm going into what plants need. This has all the different things. I think my first detail should maybe just be what are the 5 things? And that's light, air, water, nutrients, space to grow. And you know what? Let's be really lazy. Control C. Detail 1. Control V. Shazam. Because you know what? It doesn't matter that this is really big right now. It's fine. So that's my first detail, is going into the different things that plants need to survive. I don't love this big space here. All right, I need another detail. So I'm going to go back into this article, which is about the 5 things they need. I don't want to focus too much on this light thing because I'm doing a whole paragraph about that. Same thing with nutrients. So maybe I'll talk about the air and the different gases it has. That's awesome. So detail number 1, air, gases plants need. Fantastic. Now I need evidence. I need a quote. This is why we did our bibliography yesterday. I'm going to show you why. We're going to be lazy about this. So this feels like the right place for me to get some quotes because it's all about what my paragraph is about. And you know what? I kind of like this quote that's like, they include nitrogen, oxygen, carbon dioxide, and water vapor. Oh my gosh, that seems like a perfect quote. Copy, or highlight, Control C, copy. Go back here, evidence, put in quote marks. Boom. Now, here's where I'm going to work smarter, not harder. I'm going to erase that little period. I'm going to put a comma, and then watch this. I'm going to go up to my bibliography. I got this from Needs of Plants. I'm going to highlight it. Control copy. Scroll down. Then I'm going to go here. Going to put my end quote after my comma. Parenthesis. Control paste. Control V. Get rid of that period right there. End parenthesis period. Oh, look. Now when I write this body paragraph, I can just copy and paste this right in. And it's all done. Because remember, when I'm typing this in my essay, I need to put this in quote marks and put the in-text citation about where I found it. Why not just do it now so we can just copy and paste it later? Wink, wink. So, as you can see, I didn't spend a lot of time rewriting this in my own words. This is just ideas. Copy and paste. Just make sure that the only thing that you are recopying and pasting is this evidence. So, go on to your body paragraph 2 and your body paragraph 3. Pause me or move on to the conclusion real fast. We're going to just bust this out real quick. The last thing we're going to be working on is our conclusion. And again, I'm just getting ideas right now. There are 3 ways for us to conclude a informative writing piece. One is show importance. I could explain why learning about my topic was important. So that might be something like, well, Nikola Tesla isn't a well known inventor. His inventions and gifts to our world have made our planet a better place. I'm showing why it's important. Obviously, this has nothing to do with plants. I'm giving you examples from other texts. I could have a new view, a new way to see our topic. An example that might be many people think of wolves as frightening creatures, but anyone who knows more about them will see they're an important part of our ecosystems. So, giving a new idea about something that I have learned. The last one is a positive note, writing something nice about my topic. Now, we don't want to get too persuasive here. We're just being like, look, this is a nice thing. It was good to learn about. Like, bees are an essential part of our world, and through the efforts of science, they will continue to help flowers bloom. The last thing I want to do is leave my reader thinking. So I want to pick a way to wrap up that I can write a few sentences about. So let's go here and let's pick. So I'm thinking about plants and I'm going to show importance. To me, I'm like, yeah, that's what we need. So I'm just going to highlight that one so I know that's the one I'm doing. And I think I'm going to tie this back to my introduction about without plants, we be dead. So I'm going to say, need things from thighs. Need thighs from plants? No, things from plants. Without no other life. Fantastic. And then things I want my reader to remember. I think we're so used to plants being around that we forget how like incredibly complex and cool they are. So I think I'm going to leave my reader on a note of plants are super complex and cool. That's not what I'm going to write, but that's my idea. So again, we're just getting general ideas down so that next week we can start writing and crafting these into really nice sentences. So I know this was a long one, but guess what? We're going to be ready to write next week. You just need to go in, get your details written down, and your evidence for your other two body paragraphs. I will see you next week. Bye bye.